All right, welcome back to the Ethan Clerc podcast show. We have a great night planned out for you for this show. I don't know if you tuned in last time. We had a little bit of an issue with law enforcement with Mason Leopold's comments about guns, but I think we got it figured out, and I think everything's going to be okay, so we're going to kind of move by that. Recognize that we made a little bit of a mistake, and I think everything's going to be okay. But tonight we got ourselves a great guest, and I first want to start by introducing my two co-hosts. Sitting right next to me, we got the young lad, Tylan Porath. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. And across the table from me, not right next to me this time, Colin, Claire, my brother.
Thanks for having me again, Ethan.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
Of course. And for the man of the hour, came quite the distance, a couple blocks to get here for the big podcast. This man helped with Cottonwood, my fourth feature film, and many people might know him from around town in Windom, Stuart Kidd.
Hey.
Hey, thanks for coming out, Stuart.
Thank you.
This your first ever podcast?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Now you done your first feature film? You done your first podcast?
I didn't even know what a podcast was.
Oh, really?
No.
Did you look it up before you came, or did you just
I
rolling with
asked
it?
around.
You're just rolling with it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all right. That's all right. Let's get into it here. Let's dive into it. People are probably wondering who you are a little bit. They might have seen you in Cottonwood. I know I got a lot of compliments about your character that people were blown away. You did a really good job. What's your background? Because you're not from Windom originally.
No, I'm actually from Las Vegas.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you end up in Windom?
Just time to slow down.
Time to slow down?
Yeah.
How do you even hear of Windom if you're from Las Vegas? I mean, you probably...
Well, I just told my brother one day it's time for me to go, and he put me on a plane.
Said you're going to Windom?
That's where I was.
Really?
Really, that's awesome.
Windom International Airport was the next stop.
International Airport? Jeez.
Yeah, it was January 1st. I started off a new year in 2015.
2015?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. And then you started working at McDonald's right away? Or was it...
As a matter of fact, they put me on the wrong plane. I ended up in Texas.
No way.
Yeah.
There is a Windom in Texas, by the way. So.
Is there really?
Yep.
Huh. So your first job in Windom was at McDonald's? Or did you start somewhere else?
Yeah, it was McDonald's, yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
You worked there for a couple of years. Was it 1 year, 2 years?
A little over a year.
A little over a year.
Yeah.
That's where we kind of got to know Stuart and kind of built a friendship through that, and then had him in the movie, of course, and now we got some other things coming up, maybe a music video possible. Yeah. You got some big ideas, I know, Stuart.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Just being a fan band.
Hey, that'd be sweet. But I know I kind of wanted to talk to you. You told me, I don't remember how long ago it was, you told me some stories about back when you were in prison in Loveland, and you were telling me how you were with OJ.
Loveland?
Isn't it Loveland?
Oh, no, it was a place called Lovelock.
Lovelock.
Yeah.
Is it, that's in Nevada?
Yeah.
And you were in with OJ?
Yeah.
Really? Twice?
No way.
So talk to the fans a little bit about that, because people are going to be interested. What's the story with that?
I mean, in there, it's not really such a big thing, you know. It's just another person, you know. I mean, of course, he's O.J. Simpson. But,
yeah.
As far as that goes, I mean, he was working, like, in the gym as basically like a gym janitor, you know, just cleaning up the gym and stuff like that. I think he ran the fantasy football team, but other than that, he was just, you know,
Another guy.
Yeah.
Wow. And did you get the chance to personally talk to him, or was he kind of just really?
Yeah, he actually taught me to play a game called Hearts, but
really?
I forgot now.
You think if you called him up, or if he was able to get a hold of you, that he would recognize you?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, he's got a lot of people that talk to him constantly, you know.
And he just got out recently. It was, I don't know how long ago that was, but he got out of there.
Yeah, again.
Yeah. Well, he got out, and then he got back in, and then you were still in, so you saw him leave and come back?
Right.
Wow.
Right.
So what was do you know what the cause was for either of those? I know the first one, something about merchandise. Someone was...
Yeah, he thought since something had his autograph on it, it was still his.
Oh.
You just signed it.
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But, I don't know, I don't really get into all that.
When you're in, I mean, was he talking about that kind of stuff, or was he just kind of trying to get over it and move on?
Yeah, he didn't really talk I mean, if he did, it just wasn't anytime I saw him, but...
Really?
It wasn't, you know, every day, all day I'd see him.
And did he have a cellmate, or was he on his own, or did he get special treatment because he's a celebrity, or is it just like he's anybody else?
No special treatment.
He's like anybody else.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because I know I told someone about that, and they're like, well, he probably had special treatment. He's a celebrity. They always get special treatment when they're in, or I'm like, I don't know. I think they're just like anybody else. Yeah. You know, just treated equally. If you're in. So
did he have a hard time with some of the other inmates? Did they give him a hard time?
I don't think so.
No. Huh.
Did you ever have a hard time with any of the other ones?
Well,
That's just not really want to talk about that.
I mean, it's prison. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, the TV, you know, they twisted a little bit out of proportion, but I mean, that's the basics.
That's crazy. Well, I know that was one of the things I wanted to ask you about because it's kind of a crazy story that you can say you knew OJ and he taught you how to play hearts or whatever. That's kind of not too many people get to say they know OJ, let alone that you kind of develop a little bit of a friendship with him or whatever. So that's kind of cool. But to kind of move by that, I thought I just kind of wanted to get your take on that. But was there anything else that you wanted to say about that, about OJ, or anything that you remember about him? Just want final comments on him. If he said anything.
He was just another guy.
Another guy. Never said anything funny to you that you remember? Nothing crazy?
Nothing
Didn't know
special.
there's any crazy stories?
No.
He's kind of a crazy man. All right, one more question. Did he ever talk about if he actually killed his wife?
No.
Come on, he had to have said something.
No.
He never even hinted at it.
Mm-mm.
Huh. Because he wrote the book. You know, he made that book.
Right. If I did, this is how I would.
Yeah, if he
I mean,
did.
it made money.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
Isn't that the point?
Yeah.
There you go.
And then who knows if he gets out, he has all that money waiting for him, or... I don't know how that works, but...
I'm sure he's got plans.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he just got out, it was probably over a year ago now.
He's OJ. I mean, if he wanted to, he could be on a talk show every day of the week.
Really?
For the next
You
year.
think-
He did book him. I'm coming as OJ.
You think people would forgive
Especially
him?
after he just got out of prison again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
But-
Well, you think people would... I feel like people still kind of have ill hearts about that whole scenario. People still think that he actually did it. He probably, I don't know. He probably did. The evidence points
Tonight,
out.
this ain't the OJ show. This is Stuart show.
Yeah, all right. Hey, we won't talk about OJ too much. I kind of wanted to get your opinion on it. Yeah, who's OJ? Who's OJ?
Yeah.
Stuart's the main guy. So tell me, Stuart, about some of your plans here, because I know you've been talking to me about making a music video, and that's kind of one of your ideas. What are some of your other things you want to do, or some of your other
Actually,
dreams?
I was thinking about putting together some of my artwork and open up an art store downtown, and do also other people's artwork on consignment. Maybe get an art store going or something like that.
What kind of art? What kind of artwork do you do?
Just mostly just pencil.
Pencil.
Just pencil, black and grays.
Huh. And someone was saying that you might be doing engraving. I know you've done some of that on your windows in your car. You plan on doing any more of that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That'll be part of it too?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it'd be part of that particular thing, but I mean, it'd be one of my things.
It'd be one of the things that'd be offered there, huh? That's interesting. When would you be probably starting that?
I don't know. It's just an
down the
idea
road.
that I came up with, a little while back, and just to do something within the community or.
Yeah, well, that's good. I feel like that would be something that could benefit the community. And
I mean, my artwork is a little different than maybe a lot of people around here are really see on a daily, but I mean. Yeah. It's different.
Huh.
I mean, I've actually got some drawings, that are represent like Windom and stuff like that.
Oh, cool. That would be interesting to see some of that. I don't know if I ever have, so I'd definitely be interested to see some of that. Now, one of the other things, we kind of like to talk about stuff that's going on, like around the world and everything on here with people. So to get some of your opinions on stuff that's been going on lately, does that sound like something you'd be interested in?
That's fine.
All right. Well, I have this conspiracy theory that I've been following online, and you might have some interesting thoughts on this. Let me pull it up right here. If you guys have heard about this, it's all over the internet right now. Some kid got a phone call it was a weird phone call. I'll try to pull up the actual phone call here. Let me find it. I saved it on.
Was it that Twitter thing?
Yeah, it was all over Twitter. It's been all over Facebook.
He recorded it, or?
He recorded the phone call because it was so weird. I'll see if I can actually play it on here through the mics for everyone to hear. Let's see if it'll play.
Sierra, Delta, Alpha, November, Golf, Echo, Romeo, Sierra, Oscar, Sierra, India, Tango, India, Sierra, Delta, India, Romeo.
What is that?
It apparently is. Well, I was reading more into it. It's a bunch of random words, but if you spell them out, there's a whole thing on here. There's a whole conspiracy that came out of that, and people thought that they were, some kind of crazy word. But if you put all those words out together, it says Danger SOS. It is dire for you to evacuate. Be cautious. They are not human. SOS dangerous.
People got just way too much time on their hands.
Yeah. Well, someone actually found that out, and there's been people who have been going crazy about this.
But I mean, who says that's even real?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I mean, it could be just
someone just sent there themselves.
Right. I
Yeah,
mean, just somebody with a lot of time on their hands, got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But sit there and play video games and complain about where's their dragon shirt.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And, you know, it's like,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Mom, give me another 2-liter.
Yeah,
Come on,
you gotta
get
hear-
out there and do something instead of waste your time on stupid stuff like this.
Yeah.
I'm sure if something like this existed, they'd already take care of it.
you think the government would be ready?
Absolutely. I
Well,
mean-
you should hear what they think the government is going to do to them by hearing this message on their phone. They said, I don't know why it was just sent. Military code is what it is. He was asking a bunch of people on Twitter for help. He's put the translation on there, and then people started sending a bunch of crazy stuff to this guy, like saying that they figured out what it is. And also the guy was saying people were showing up outside of his house and taking pictures with their phones.
That's what he wanted. That's exactly
You think
what
he's
he
just looking
wanted.
for attention?
Yeah.
I don't know. It gets kind of weird. There's coordinates involved, and the coordinates actually lead.
And where did he send them to?
He put this on Twitter. Like that phone call that was just that he put that phone call on Twitter.
Attention.
Yeah.
For attention.
Well, he might. I mean, but you got to hear more about this conspiracy theory. So he put this stuff on Twitter, and people were started figuring out stuff. And I don't know if you remember that Malaysian flight.
If he was smart enough to figure that out, wouldn't he have somebody
He
that
didn't-
he would normally go to with stuff like
Well,
this?
he didn't figure all this out. He put that phone call on Twitter or Facebook, and then people started sending him stuff. Like, I figured this out. I figured out what it meant. But somebody figured out. I don't remember if you guys heard about that Malaysian flight 307 from a couple years ago that went missing. Mm-hmm. They tracked the coordinates from another call this guy got, and it ended up leading to the place that flight could have gone missing. And so people are saying, here's a conspiracy, that message that guy got was the last thing that plane sent out before it crashed. And so people
No, I think it's all bull.
You think it's
That's
all
all
crap?
bull.
It's a huge conspiracy theory.
Come on.
I think the message is real that I got sent to him.
You think
but
it
I
is?
feel like the person behind that's messing with him
Some prank call.
just to get them all riled up.
I'm trying to figure out where the coordinates came
Or
from.
the whole thing could just be fake.
Yep.
Right,
Could be.
he's fed it just like he's feeding it to other people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's just that too many people with nothing to do.
It's weird. It's super weird. It's been super popular online right now. This has been a feed that has
I mean, if
been.
anything, go get in your car and whip some shitties or something. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking about cars,
Put down the controller and just go drive.
Huh.
Stuart, tell us a little bit about your car.
Oh, I love my car.
Oh.
What
I
year
got
is
it-
that thing?
I actually got it from Victor, who we also used to work with.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a 91 Caprice. But I told my lady, I says, that's my coffin. When I die, you bury me in my car.
It's a big hole, Stuart.
Yes, absolutely.
You have the windows tinted red, right?
Yeah.
You were working on that last time I talked to you.
Yeah.
You ever get that figured out?
Well, yeah, it's just a little cold right now, so.
Yeah. Gotta wait till it warms up.
Yeah. But it's coming along. I mean, it's good practice.
Yeah.
Have you had any problems with law enforcement with red tint?
Not with the red tint.
What?
One of them told me to peel off my engravings.
Really?
What?
I said, it's not stickers. It's not stickers. And he says, what? He says, then you can't have that anyways. You know, you got to get rid of that. I says, so you want me to pull my windows out?
You
Right?
gotta tell him
But
that's carved into the window.
He ended up just not messing with us about it anymore after that. But
He
he said he got a complaint on my car in Monticello.
Monticello.
4 days prior to that, and I was nowhere in Monticello, but he said that's the reason why he pulled me over, and then he noticed my windows.
Huh.
But
Have you
it's,
guys-
not, it's not illegal. It's
It
not
isn't?
illegal. No. Neither is the red tint,
The red tint isn't
as
illegal.
long as you don't put it on the front.
What other modifications have you done to it? I mean, we know, but tell the viewers what kind of stuff you've been
Well,
doing.
I've ripped out all the upholstery and redid it in like a dark black racing material.
Mm-hmm.
But even that in itself, I mean, I've done a couple cars before, but this is like the one I've really
This is the big one.
gotten into, you know. So I love my car.
That's awesome.
And
I love my girls who are at home,
Yeah.
which is Christina and Lexi. I don't know if everybody knows them, but them in my car.
The car's a bit. Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. What were you gonna say, Town?
What about your? I heard you don't have a gas. I'm trying to think. A gas gauge?
Oh, the gas gauge is
No.
covered.
I don't have a
thing's covered,
speedometer.
right?
I don't have a speedometer.
Oh,
You don't have a speedometer.
No,
Isn't the whole front covered?
Yeah, the whole
still?
thing's covered.
You have upholstery over all of it.
Yeah.
Explain to me what that.
Now that I got a lot of sweat for not having a speedometer, but it's legal.
It is legal.
Yes.
Really?
As long as you're not doing over the speed limit, they can't say anything about it. And they actually were going to tow my car one day. I said, wait a minute. Before you tow my car, go back and check on this. Because if you're taking it, I'm going with it. You might as well tow me with it, but just go check first. And so he came back and he says, you know what? There's nothing I can do about it.
Jeez, was that in Windom?
That was in Mountain Lake.
Oh,
Mountain
was
Lake.
it?
Okay.
Jeez. And that you said if you're gonna tow this car, I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my car.
Crazy. Stuart, you love that thing.
Yeah.
How much did you buy it for from Victor?
I don't think I should put his business out there like that.
No, we don't want to put private information like that.
Right.
It was a good deal.
guy.
It was a good deal.
Yeah, he did give me an
Victor's
awesome
a good
deal.
guy. Victor's a good guy.
Awesome guy.
Another guy that was in Cottonwood. I get big shout out to him for helping with that. Everyone that was in the movie was did a great job. What I never asked you. Well, I might have talked to you after the premiere, but how was your experience with that? Your first time acting and everything. How did you think you did?
I was actually a little nervous.
You were nervous
Yeah.
at the premiere when we were filming.
No, we're filming.
Oh, filming.
At the
okay.
premiere, I was just like, man, I'm a movie star. Look at
That's awesome. But
Yeah.
you did a good job, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you ever thought about getting more into it. What do you think about that? Doing more acting stuff.
Oh yeah.
You think you would?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just roll me as a criminal, and I'll do great.
That's awesome. Well,
What was your overall review of the movie? What did you think of it?
I liked it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was good.
you liked it? That's awesome. Well, we really appreciate you helping with that, and I hope that we have another project that you could get involved with.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Definitely.
Well, let's see what else we got here for you. I've been trying to figure out some more.
So anyways, you said my plans here.
Yeah, if you have any more plans.
Well, I mean, basically, like I said, I got here, fresh start, whatever, and I came here by myself, and then once I got established, my fiance, who I'm with now, is Christina.
Okay.
She came up from Florida,
Really?
and she rode a bus for like, I think it was like 7 or 9 days or something like that. It was a ridiculous amount of days, but yeah, she rode the bus up here, and then we got on our feet, and then I got the custody of my daughter, which took a long time, but yeah, she's here with us now, and she's got a son back home, and he should be coming up. This what break is coming up? Not spring break. The
Easter
one after
break.
that.
Oh, after spring break?
Yeah.
Gee, that'd be pretty much end of the year, end of the school year.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's coming up for the summer for a while, so that'll be good.
Well, that's cool.
But
That's a good story. Well, I mean, to come from Las Vegas to Windom is just crazy enough, but then
Right.
to have all that.
so now we're just looking to establish a permanent residency.
Yeah.
We don't want to go anywhere. We like it around here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good people, and Las Vegas just isn't. That's always going to be home for me, But
Okay.
it's you can love it from afar, because if not, you get wrapped up in certain situations that you can't get away from, and just, before you know it, it's just too late, and you're like, damn, what did I do? You
Yeah,
know? And why didn't I just I took it for what it was. I mean, I love Las Vegas. It made me who I am today, and but you can leave that all behind just to slow down and check other things out.
Yeah. Well, what was some of the experiences you had when you were in Las Vegas? Because, I mean, Sin City, there's crazy stuff going on out there compared to Windom. So,
when they had that shooting,
oh, yeah.
that sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, me and my lady were sitting on the couch watching, regular news, and then next thing you know, it's
Pops up.
KVU, Fox 5, Nevada. And I
Yep.
said, what the hell? And then she says, what's that? And we're hearing it, and it was still live.
Wow.
And he was still shooting while they were live
Yep.
when they broke in. And I says, that can't be true. And then we were sitting there watching it. Sure enough, it was like, I don't know, it's like that's home, and it's like you want to help, but you're here, and it's like
You're so far away.
You're so familiar with everything that's going on around that particular moment. It's like, we go there. That's where we, cruised up and down the strip. This is where we did this.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's really happening at home. And, you just want to really help, people back home. But,
Yeah. That was
start
really...
calling people and making sure everybody's home or this and that. And after a few minutes, we had to shut it off. I mean, it was still all hectic. Everything was still going on, and we just had to shut it off for a minute to take a breath and just be like, dang, dude.
That's tough, and that was one of those things that has been recently. It's been these mass shootings that have been going on, and it kind of makes us wonder what's going to happen next. Where's the next spot that's going to get shot up?
It's not going to get better.
No,
it's not going to get better.
We talked about
unless big changes are made. I mean, you see the people marching right now. You know, all over the United States, and it's like, I mean, something's got to be done, obviously, or else it wouldn't be an outcome like this. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that, you know, they're like, look, we've had enough of this. You know? You know, a lot of countries, you can't carry a gun, period.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, Stuart? What do you?
I think the United States is strong enough to we shouldn't have to.
You don't think we should have to have guns at all?
No.
You think it's possible to get rid of all of them?
Anything's possible.
You think that it's realistic? That all these people who own guns are very
they're
passionate
firm on
about
their,
they're passionate
firm on their
on
belief
it.
in having them. But I mean, I'm a firm believer of keeping my daughter around.
Yeah.
And I think that trumps that. You know, I mean, I've got a future wife, and you know, I don't want her gone because of a gun. I think that trumps that. You know, it's like, you know, you can sit here and have your right to bear arms, but you know, I'd rather bear my family.
I get what you're saying. What do you think? What were you gonna say, Tylan?
What about people that want to hunt and stuff? You know, like we're around Windom now, and people are out hunting when the year comes around, and a ton of people are hunting around Minnesota. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know, I mean, like, should people be able to hunt? Yeah, I mean, you've got to do something to eat, anyways.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know that there maybe be designated people to do so. You know that, you know, if they're part of the government agency to go out and find these animals, kill them, and whatnot. I don't know how possible that would even be. But I'm just saying, I just don't think that anybody should have the right to just walk around with a gun, because you don't know the next person, that trigger. You know, that it's like that mental trigger.
Yeah.
And anybody that has a gun can just flip at any moment.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know? And we were talking a lot last episode of the podcast about background checks, how they need to be stronger, so people who actually want to get guns have to go through more of a process, make sure they're mentally stable, and that they have an actual reason for getting one, not just, I don't know, you know, you actually have to know what you're doing with one, not just anybody can walk into the store and buy a gun.
Right.
There's got to be more of that.
Or maybe even you know, they have guns with, you know, rubber bullets and this and that. I mean, if they could come up with something for the society to carry aside from a firearm, you know, something that won't cause death, but you could hurt a dude, you know?
Well, you're saying
just like a stun gun,
taser,
stuff like
something
that.
like that, yeah.
But I mean, something that, if you come up with something that people are like, oh, that's kind of cool, and it follows, I think it'd be easier to overcome, like, not having guns, period. You know, give them something else, like something, you know, I don't know how much sense that makes, but...
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I feel like everyone's trying to look for a solution. It's going to be tough to come up with something that's actually going to work. I don't know about the taking all guns away, stuff like that. But, you know, because a thing like that in Las Vegas could have easily happened with a bomb in the big crowd like that.
That's true.
There's a whole...
But less likely.
Yeah, it's less likely because it takes more time. It's more difficult to do. But what were you going to say, Tylan?
But have you lost somebody to...
I haven't lost anybody. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've got homies back in Vegas that I can't talk to anymore. You know, I mean, I've actually watched it take place, and that's maybe why I have another, you know.
Oh, you definitely have a view on it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If you've lost people, I mean, I can't say I have. Yeah.
I used to have to carry a gun, and out here I don't have to. So why would you want to? You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it might not be more of people just carrying them around in the streets for fun. It might just be collecting, or, you know, taking them out for hunting, or, you know, for sport.
But it just seems too hard to notice the difference in the two. You know, I mean, like I said, it could be anybody.
Yeah.
Me, you, him, anybody.
Yeah.
I guess because you don't know why they tripped out.
Yeah.
So how do you not know that it can happen to you?
It's tough to pinpoint people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy that did this shooting in Vegas, he was supposedly a nobody, and then next thing you know, he was an undercover agent and this and that. Now that's a totally different people that they're talking about.
Yeah.
So obviously, no, they didn't know him.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, just like you know me, for a little while now, and
Yeah.
you don't know what I possibly do.
That is totally true. Yeah, you never know what someone's capable of. So, it's actually cool having you here because I've personally never talked to anybody who's been affected by a shooting or something like that. So to have you here and have that opinion and view on it is a pretty unique, opportunity to be able to talk to someone who's been affected personally by a shooting like that. So I appreciate you coming on and talking about that specifically.
Right. I mean, that all came with that old gang life and this and that and the other. But I mean I guess it's more accepted by people because it's gang related and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, everybody who witnesses something like that, it's going to affect them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just want to bring something up. What do you think about if they did take guns away, like you said, and they got them away? You don't think people could get them besides that?
Right, that's what I'm saying. It would have to be an all or nothing thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I'm talking.
And realistically, like you said, is it realistic though? No, it's not. Is it possible? Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
But I'm saying like the black market.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's going to be a huge thing if they try taking it away.
Right.
Because
it wouldn't happen overnight. It wouldn't happen over 10 years.
Oh no.
But I mean, I just wish that in the future, our generations after us could slowly, deplete that level of guns and stuff like that, so that they're not so accessible to people who shouldn't have them.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Not so accessible. I agree
and
with
it's
that.
after the fact that you find out who should have them. It's like, I don't know. It would be a long process. It's not realistic, but it's possible.
And the growth of technology is also affecting these guns.
Oh, how easy it is to get one.
Yeah.
You can go online, find it on Facebook,
and
meet
get
up with
it
the
within
dude.
12 hours.
We were looking at that last episode, how easy it is. It's ridiculous.
I once knew a guy, he was a convicted felon so many times over.
Really?
And he was getting guns sent to him from the manufacturer.
You're kidding.
All you got to do is order the parts instead of the gun.
Oh. They don't do any checking on background, nothing.
When you go and buy a clip, do you have to show your ID?
I'm not sure.
You have to show how old you are, but not your ID for the person.
Right, for a background check.
Right. Yep.
See, so it'd be the same thing. You're just ordering the gun in pieces. It's not a firearm. So I mean, it's easy for people to get guns. Shipped right to them in the mail, UPS.
Yeah.
Come knock on the door. Set it on your porch if you're not home.
Jeez. Set it on the porch if you're not home.
Isn't that what they usually do?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's crazy. Just kind of taking it all in is something else. But to kind of go off of that, the whole Las Vegas Massacre thing, there's been a lot of people speculating, people on both sides of this thing that think that there was more than one shooter involved.
You know what? I think it's a lot bigger than what was first thought. Just some crazy guy shooting out of the window. It's way bigger than that.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
That's not really for me to figure out. Like I said, I don't have too much time on my hands, and I like to go out and do things. So we've got a government to take care of stuff like that. And if people would just stop nosing in and just taking it all out of context, I think stuff would get cleaned up a lot easier.
Do you think that a lot of people are anti, you can't trust the government? What are your thoughts on that? Are they reliable?
I live in a wonderful country.
We do, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't have no complaints.
You think we can always trust the government with every story or everything they come out with?
I think they let us know what we need to know.
Yeah. I get that.
And they leave it at that. And then I think that's why people get so frustrated, is because if they don't tell everything, why are you keeping it a secret? That's not my business.
There's not.
I go to work, I pay my taxes, I got my daughter, I got my lady. That's what I worry about.
Yeah. You think people get too nosy, and then they feel like they're not getting told everything,
and then they make up their own.
Then they make up
story,
conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally see that.
And then you have the media making up stories too, so that doesn't.
Oh, the
help
fake
at
news.
all.
Some of the fake news articles.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Too much time on their hands.
Yep.
Get in your car, whip some shitties.
All right. Well, we are going to take a little bit of a break here. We will be right back. We have a little bit of a advertisement for you, and we'll be right back. So thank you.
Hey Dalton, you hear about the new McDonald's mobile ordering app? No, what's that? Let me show you. First of all, you gotta pull out your phone. Can I get anything, maybe even a cone? It's so easy. It's like throwing a bone. Give me a Big Mac. I'll pay on my own. Alright, my turn. I'll get a double cheese. Pull up to the curb, ain't gotta say please. In the back. Make her order with ease. Roll down my window, get her in a breeze. What's up next now? Our order's complete. The boys didn't even have to get on their feet. Got it faster than our little beat. This new system, really concrete.
Oh, welcome back to the Ethan Clerc podcast show. You like that little intro?
Yeah, I loved it.
Well, thank you, Tylan. Now we are back, joined with the one, the only Stuart Kidd. Glad to have you back.
Hey.
Now you were talking to us a little bit over the break about an idea you had. More of a, maybe it's more of a just a mindset, but about technology, about kids on their phones nowadays, millennials.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that juicy idea.
Phones are the devil.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez. You're gonna piss a lot of people off with that.
Wait, let me ask you.
Phones are
Let me ask you a
Phones are the
question.
devil. All right.
Do you have a phone?
I do.
What are some?
It's but nowadays it's a necessity.
You need a phone,
It's not a luxury. You know, it's a necessity. Like, you know, no matter what you do, it's always on the phone. I mean, there's an app for every single thing that you do for all day long.
Very true.
What are your main uses on your phone? Calling people or texting?
Music videos.
Okay.
Music videos?
And communication.
Right.
Communication's a big one.
Huge.
But what your idea was to go to City Hall. Well, here, I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah. Me and Christina, we were talking.
Who's your
about
wife?
My fiance.
Fiance.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Fiance.
We were talking about, you know, what would really happen if we got the whole town of Windom, everybody under the age of 18, just to put a ban on phones for 1 week just to see what happened. And what we would figure would happen is there'd be a lot less drama, gossip, people in everybody else's business, so on and so forth, because nowadays, like, the kids, they just don't want to get up and physically go and do something. So if they want to talk crap about somebody, they're not going to physically want to get up and do that. It's just too much waste of energy for them to do that nowadays. So I think it would actually cut down on a lot of the drama and the gossip and.
Well, that brings up a good point about online bullying right now.
Like
It's
cyberbullying,
ridiculous.
yes.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. These people, there's kids committing suicide because they're getting
I'm
bullied so bad.
dealing
online.
with something similar to that right now, and it's ridiculous.
It's
This
crazy.
is a small town, and everybody should be able to just say, "Hey,"
Yeah.
you know, instead of just people talking about.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really for no reason at all. You know, I mean, I know kids are going to be kids, and things are going to be said and done and whatnot, but I mean, there comes a time where it's like, oh, wait, now this is just way overkill.
Oh,
you
yeah.
do not have to know whether the neighbor down the block just farted 5 minutes ago, or if Betty's cat got out last week. You know, it's like, why do I need to know all this stuff? It doesn't play a role in my life and the things that I want to accomplish and the structure that we attempt to have on a daily at the house. You know, it doesn't play any role in that. So why expend all that energy on something that has no factor in your life?
Yeah.
What if you were to extend your idea and instead of just Windom and take that to the entire United States?
Yeah, I mean
That would be insane.
Would be great. I mean, it'd be wonderful.
Crazy.
Just to see what happened. I mean, I'm kind of scared because
What's gonna happen?
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now, some kids are going to have some insane mental breakdowns.
I was just getting ready to say that, mental breakdowns, because they just don't know what to do.
They're relying on the phone.
And it's not really the kids at fault or anything like that. I mean, this is something we jumped into. I mean, it wasn't that many years ago where there weren't cell phones, you know? And if there was, it was giant briefcase-sized battery you had with a strap over your shoulder and a cord that went from the briefcase to this big walkie-talkie looking thing, you know. But now it's just too easy to not do anything.
Well, and it's easy to say stuff online because you're behind the screen. You don't have to worry. Type whatever you want, and then before you know it, you know, you really harass somebody to the point, you know, it has gotten bad. It has gotten terrible.
You know, the thing is, you know, I don't mean to put my daughter's business out there or anything like that, but you know, she's new to Minnesota. You know, she just got here going on 2 years, and it wasn't easy when she got here. You know, I mean, she was the outcast, and I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, I've got a beautiful daughter, absolutely beautiful daughter and fiance, and she was outcasted, I think, because of that reason, somewhat. She's new here, and then, you know, the kids here are pretty much set in their ways.
You grew up with
you've got
them.
this circle of people, and when somebody comes in and ripples that, you know, but we dealt with it the way that we thought we needed to, and it seemed like it was getting past that, and now it's just my daughter went into treatment a while back, and when she got out, there was just everything was already pre-planted. Like there was girls that came to Windom while my daughter was in there, didn't even know her and already hated her because just so much gossip. When I've got a wonderful daughter, and these people who have issues with her or she has issues with, because it's not just them, it's my daughter. But I think they'd actually get along wonderful, given the chance. But there was just too much intermission, that everybody getting involved. Why did they say these things that half of them aren't true, and then the ones that are true aren't completely true, and it would be wonderful if they would just be able to concentrate on school, do what they're supposed to do.
I agree.
And hey, I understand they're kids, they're going to get in trouble, but there's trouble and then there's trouble,
Well, Dalton just brought up a stat here on his phone. It says millennials engage with their smartphones more than they do actual humans. And this is
by
on
far
marketwatch.com.
By far.
Nearly 4 in 10 millennials say they interact more with their smartphones than they do with their significant others, parents, friends, children, or coworkers.
They have no character anymore.
No. 1,000 people released Wednesday by Bank of America. This is a survey by Bank of America. Wow. Millennials defined here, ages 18 to 34, interact with their smartphone more than anything or anyone else. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
Ridiculous.
Losing the ability to build relationships, losing the ability to talk to people, have conversation.
Right. Unless you wanted to physically get up and do that.
Yeah. And we're not just saying that everyone that uses their smartphone is an idiot or...
No, by far. I mean, everybody has them. Yeah. I mean, from the dumbest to the smartest, everybody's got one, and it's an extension of their arm, you know? And I just think it's a way overkill. I don't think technology should have been allowed to progress so far as a whole in society. I think it needed to have like a speed limit on it. It's like, I think it should have been filtered to us a lot slower than it really has. I mean, you've got some crazy stuff out there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've got a speaker in your room that you can tell to do whatever you want to. You don't even have to get up off the couch. Hey, bring me a soda, Lexus, or what is it?
Oh, they're bringing sodas now?
Come on, is it really that far ahead?
I don't know.
Next year they will be.
I'm telling you.
Jeez, that'd be legendary.
Alexa, or I think it is.
Alexa,
yeah. And then Apple's got one, and everyone, they all...
Okay, Google.
Okay, Google.
Right.
Another crazy thing to think about is...
I've got a maid for like $27. I've got a maid that'll turn on anything in the house.
Yeah, no, you're right. Colin, what were you saying?
Another crazy thing to think about is these young kids that have phones in first grade. They have the iPhone 8 Plus. They're in first grade.
This little 5-year-old is streaming faster than I am. I'm going on slow data, not even high speed.
Yeah, like, but it's just crazy to think about. Like, even when we were younger, I don't think I got a phone till I
got a phone after you got a phone.
Yeah, I think I got a phone in 7th grade, I think, and that's still super young.
I don't even know how to use the one. I mean, I can call, I can surf the web or whatever, but when it comes to like files, documents, downloads, caches or whatever the heck that is, I don't even know where my stuff goes.
There's a lot to learn with it.
I really don't know where some of my stuff goes.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture and not find it for like a year. then it'll be my profile page. I'm like, what the heck?
In the heck? Well, speaking of phones doing weird things and all that, you were telling us a little bit of a story about how your phone called 911 without anyone even typing 911 in.
Yes, it did.
Explain that story a little bit to people, because that might interest.
They're not gonna believe it, but I mean, it's true. I mean, and this is the second time that it's happened. I've witnessed. Yeah.
Wow. Well, explain to people how it happened or how they can avoid it or what you think was the issue.
Well, I was at a buddy's house and I put my cell phone, just set it on top of his tablet, and didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, his contacts were in my phone.
Oh, weird.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, I don't know this person and this number, and I showed it to him, and he's like, wait, that's my buddy. I'm like, how did you get in my phone?
Yeah.
But it was just by simply setting it on there. And then the other day, my house was visited by the police department, the wonderful Windom Police Department.
Oh, yes.
And they thought there was a domestic dispute going on because a lady just was talking to the neighbor in our living room and telling a story, and it was a hyped up story. You know, she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
getting animated and everything. You know.
Yep.
Well, the cops on the phone, the dispatch thought it was a domestic dispute going on.
And the phone was just sitting in the middle of the room.
Just sitting in the middle of the room. And
Yeah.
And it called 911 itself.
I asked my lady, I says, well, how did you accidentally do it? She's like, I wasn't even near it. I was standing over here. And I'm like, wait a minute. Sure enough, it was sitting on the tablet.
Jeez.
Once again, and it called 911.
By itself.
By
That's
itself.
crazy.
Either that or we got a ghost that just follows us around places, but I don't know about that.
It's like the tablet's another person.
Right.
Jeez,
That's
I don't know
what
if
it's
I,
become.
I mean,
Coming.
everybody talks to it enough, it's going to start responding.
Hey, I have another thing. A huge thing that's coming around: online dating. What do you think about that?
online dating.
I got a lady.
No,
I got a wonderful
no.
lady.
But I'm saying
He just wondering what you
Oh,
think.
what your
of it.
thoughts are on
other people.
other people doing it.
Yeah,
Got to be careful.
You just don't know who these
exactly.
people are. you
Yeah,
know?
that's my.
I
thought on
mean,
that.
you're looking at this picture, but then next thing you know,
It's a
Oh,
guy.
no.
or
Oh, no.
It's the opposite
oh
gender.
no,
That's the thing with this.
you didn't tell me about your Adam's apple. You know, it's like
You can edit so much online now.
Oh, yeah.
In person, they look
That's
completely
true.
different than
That's true.
online. You know.
they show up and they got deep voice and
Online dating's definitely getting
Too
more
many
sketchy
organs
every
and-
year.
Too many.
yeah, it's like wait a minute.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that some people can believe it and they'll get led on for years
Yeah, and pay
Without-
money,
and-
pay hella money.
without even they'll be sending the other person money
Yeah,
and they don't even know where it's going.
yeah.
You know?
Are you talking about getting catfished or something? Or
Oh
what?
yeah.
Jeez.
People
Yeah.
do it
Yeah,
all the time.
catfishing.
That's a
has
huge
become
thing
huge.
online.
I watched this. It was a documentary on Vice or something. It was about how a famous. Oh, who was the Birdman, the basketball player?
Oh, Chris Anderson.
Chris
Yeah,
Anderson.
I saw that.
He got catfished by this girl in Alaska, who hooked up a girl from a random girl who was a model on Instagram. She hooked up.
She
a
was
famous,
18.
Yeah, 18. She hooked up a famous NBA player with this girl, and they ended up doing stuff. And Chris Anderson got in pretty big trouble because
Yeah, he got blackmailed.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
she blackmailed him and had pictures of the girl on his phone and everything. Turned it in.
no.
Yeah, and this.
See?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Too much time on their hands.
Yeah, this girl definitely had too much time on her hands from Alaska. Oh my gosh, and
You know how much work goes into something like that. you know?
unbelievable. They figured out she had been doing it for months, and this was like she hadn't left the house in 10 years. This is her full-time job. She wasn't getting paid or anything. She's just doing it for fun to mess with people. Sickening.
Yeah.
Just
Let me
absolutely
ask you
crazy.
a question. How's
Get
it
out and
full-
get a job. Go
Yeah.
with some shitties.
Hey,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. How is it a full-time job if you don't get paid?
Well, you don't have to get
Well,
paid.
yeah, you don't have to get paid to have a job.
She's having fun
My daughter has chores. Those are her job.
Yeah.
I don't pay
Yeah,
her.
but she gets a reward for it, doesn't she?
to live in the house.
Yeah, she
Exactly.
She
she's
gets to
there.
live under his
She's
roof.
with us.
True,
Yeah, she's with us.
exactly.
I mean, I got my daughter's back no matter what. But I mean,
No, I didn't mean
Of
full-time
course.
job. I meant, she was.
That's
this is-
what she does.
That's all she did was
Yeah, all the
Really?
time.
catfish people.
Yeah, that's
That's horrible.
ridiculous.
Read about it.
Now,
ridiculous.
when you have kids and they ask you, hey, what did you do when we were growing up? I was catfishing people. Come on, man.
Exactly.
How much pride can you take with that? You know, show and tell. You take your parents to school. Yeah, I'm a catfisher.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
she goes to a job interview and says that.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
someone else says, "Oh, I was working on like a farm or helping my dad out, whatever, you know."
Well,
that's
it's
gonna go a lot further than
these.
Something like
Yeah.
There's
some of-
even crazier stories than that one, though. There's people that are catfishing 10 people at a time and
Yeah,
Oh, it's nuts.
stuff like that.
Like you said, get a job, get out there.
with some shitties.
There you go. From Stuart, we're gonna put that on a T-shirt,
Yeah,
and then you give you a portion of the profits or all of it, whatever.
that's right.
There we go. Get it.
Open the art store.
Read about it on the back.
read about it.
Hashtag read about it.
Hashtag read about it. That's our big thing right now. We're saying read about it. People
Read
aren't
about it.
reading enough these days.
If you want to know what it is, read about it.
Well, Dalton's got one more article here for us. Sugar baby relationships thrive at Ole Miss. More than 200 college students at the. Will you quit, Tylan?
Alright.
More than 200 college students at the University of Mississippi are registered with a site that promotes financial relationships between sugar babies and sugar daddies or sugar mamas, according to data released Monday.
I've actually heard about
Really?
articles dealing with that.
I don't even know what you just said.
Sugar daddies, they're these girls at college who are looking for rich people, older guys.
Older guys paying for their college.
Yeah.
through being with
website.
them.
Did they have this pre-planned or like?
I don't know.
Did they just go
Pick
to
and
college and say,
match
okay,
up.
now I got to start working on these old dudes?
I gotta get the sugar
You know,
daddies.
that's ridiculous.
Well, now it's easy for them. It's a website.
What happened to their at Plan A?
Plan 8.
Yeah, Plan A. You know, like they're in college. How are they going to pay for it if they can have these sugar daddies?
Well, they got
or
Plan
whatever?
B now. With 247 students belonging to
They're not that smart to be in
Arrangements.
college if they're just making plans like that.
Seekingarrangements.com, a website that sets up people for mutually beneficial relationships. Wow.
And they're not only paying for their college too, they're also bringing them on these crazy trips and living in houses that are
All right, hold on.
millions of dollars.
To
with them.
do what? What was
Just so they
What
can
was their goal?
get these young women.
how was it worded?
Let's see. It said, where was that at on here? Jeez, I don't know. They're just trying to hook up wealthy men with young women.
You said mutually beneficial.
Oh, mutually
No,
beneficial.
monetary is more like it.
Monetary. Well, listen to this. This is a crazy stat. 484,000 men are classified as sugar daddies in the U.S.
I wouldn't know nothing about that.
Hey, it's just this all goes back to show the internet is just wild. You got to watch out where you're
My
looking.
girl loves me for me, not because I'm balling like that. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You people who fall for that crap, just
Yeah.
they're not in it for the right thing.
Yeah.
It's not about the love; it's about the money. But I don't know. It's just like we were talking about. You got to be careful online nowadays. There's so many bad things out there, and you can get tricked, and you can get duped, and you can get all these people wasting their
Screwed
time.
over.
But you know you can avoid all that.
Oh yeah.
Just go whip some shitties. That's it.
Hey. Well, on that, we might have to finish her up here because I don't know. We've really talked to you about quite a bit, Stuart, and we got a lot out of you. And now we know your big motto there, and we might have to all live by it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get it on a shirt, and we'll be good to go, eh?
Yes, Lexi, Christy, I love you both.
Hey, yeah. If you want anything, if you want to add anything, if you want to promote anything, this is your time.
Promoting.
Promoting.
Just keep an eye out for the baddest capricious side of the Middle East. That matters. You know?
All right. Well, Stuart, thank you so much for coming on. It means a lot.
thanks for coming, Stuart.
Hopefully, we'll get you back on the show sometime, and you can tell us how everything's working out with that new business, and maybe it'll be up and booming by then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks to everyone for watching. This has been a great episode of the Ethan Clerc Show. Thanks to Tylan and Colin for helping me out here host it, and we will see you next time.
Peace.